In our today's topic, we want to tackle the topic on diffusion. We want to see what diffusion means by the end of this lesson. What we have is a beaker and particles inside. Now, before I go to this, in simple terms, diffusion is the movement of particles from a concentration of higher region to a concentration of low region. In that essence, bringing us back into this particular experiment or illustration is that if these are particles which are in higher concentration, therefore these particles are bound to move from their region of higher concentration to their regions where they are in low concentration. At the end of the day, they are said to be at equilibrium. They are said to be at equilibrium. So that is how it does occur. We can equate this in animals by taking an example of an animal cell. So if we consider an animal cell, we are going to use the same particles in our experiment. We would say that animal cells will have particles in higher concentration inside than those which are found outside. So we consider this as higher concentration, that is inside the cell, and we consider this to be in low concentration outside the cell. Now, in this experiment, therefore, because we are dealing with the cell, this is the cell. The cell is normally surrounded with a cell membrane, and normally within the cell membrane, we normally say that it is selectively permeable, able to allow particles to move in and out of the cell. They are able to move freely in and out. But selective means it allows other materials to pass through and others not to pass through. Now, the difference in terms of concentration, where we have low and high concentration, is referred to as concentration difference or concentration gradient. And this is the condition at which diffusion does occur. Now, for the case where particles are in higher concentration, we expect them to move more to the area where they are in low concentration until an equilibrium is reached. Now, the same can occur in the reverse, where we have so the solution outside the cell having higher concentration of the particles than inside the cell. Same way, we would say that particles will move across into the cell until when equilibrium is reached. Now, when at equilibrium, what happens is that these particular cells are bound to move freely in and out. They are bound to move freely in and out of the cell when it reaches into that particular state. Now, in this particular lesson, therefore, we would say in simple terms that diffusion is the movement of molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Movement of particles from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. One thing to note about diffusion is that diffusion is passive. Passive in the sense that it does not require energy to pass through. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to tell you to go into your different groups, try the same exercise and explain to each other. Thank you. Welcome.